Hi there. In this video, we're going to give a quick recap of all the Python code that you learned at Nat 5. Start with, I'm just going to remind you that if you go to the CSTeach website and into Nat 5, and then into Software Design and Development, and scroll down until you get to the implementation, there are PowerPoints that go through how to create Python for each of these things. So our data types and structures, about how to set these things up, 1D arrays, etc., etc. But also the input validation, the running total, and the traversing a 1D array standard algorithms from Nat5. These are things that you're going to need for hire, so it's handy to have this video so you can go back to it in the future. However, today in this sort of main video, we're going to go over Python variables and operators. We're going to set up strings and how they concatenate together. We're going to look at different selection statements, fixed and conditional loops, predefined functions, and that'll do. If you ever need any more advice about any particular area, just let me know in a private comment or come and find me in class. So when we talk about variables and operators, I can just get rid of that terminal. What do we mean? Well, we mean places in computer memory where Python stores values. So if I want to store a name and I want to put in Mr. Simpson as the name, that's a variable called name, and the value being stored in it is Mr. Simpson. Now, it's different from the reverse of this, which sometimes people do. That's setting the text field Mr. Simpson to be equal to the value that's held in the variable name. And that doesn't make sense, does it? So when you're defining and declaring variables and setting the values, always have the variable name on the left and then the value on the right. Okay. Other examples include setting up data type character, which is just a single string, a single letter string. We've got integer values, we've got floating point values, and we've got Boolean values, which is true or false. Remember in Python, capital T or capital F for a Boolean value. And then with our 1D array, you have three main lines of code that you're going to employ. The first one sets up an empty one-dimensional array. The second line of code, which is the items equals banana, honey, porridge, and milk, that one is a pre-set up or hard-coded one-dimensional array of string because all the words are in quotes. And then the last line there is adding an extra item to the items array. So items.append extends the list by one element and puts apple after the item called milk. So if we've got maybe cost 19.99, we've got number of items, and we're going to say that's 9. Okay. If we wanted to use these in some form, we can loop or we can print. So I could say print there are number of items in your basket. If I run that program, I should see in the terminal it says there are 9 items in your basket because number of items, which has been given the value 9, is referenced inside our print. And with a comma on either side, that puts a space in between the word are, the number 9, and then the word items. We can do this in a similar way using a plus instead of a comma, but the difference is it causes an error because number of items is an integer, and integers cannot be added into print statements without being first converted into a string. And now you see it says there are 9 items in your basket, and then the second one, the one that we just edited, says there are 9 items in your basket, so there's no spaces if you use a plus instead of a comma. If we work out the total cost and make the total cost equal to the number of items multiplied by the cost. Okay, so that's performing a calculation, multiplying 9 by £19.99. And the reason I'm doing that is just to print it out and say total cost is, and then I can just say total cost. So hopefully that has helped you understand how variables can be used in calculations, but also how we can use print to concatenate text together.